Hey, what's up everybody? Jake here and welcome to the hobby. It is currently 3:59 a.m. and I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I've been thinking about these cards that have been in my head for so long and I haven't really had a chance to talk about some of these cards. And I know you're thinking, "Oh, it's Team Up. What's so special about that? Everyone talks about Team Up." The thing that I wanted to talk about was specifically this Gengar and Mimikyu Tag Team GX card. I don't know if you guys know this, but this is the regular ultra rare version of Gengar and Mimikyu. This is a card 5 or 6 years ago when I was starting to do my holiday giveaway. I regularly inserted this card into my holiday giveaway. And you can see it's currently going for $165, and I think that's astounding. Hopefully, whoever won my holiday giveaway kept this card because that's really, really cool. Maybe they traded away and maybe they got a better deal out of it. Who knows? It actually doesn't that matter. But basically, I think it's really cool that a card that I used to give away for $3 or $4 is now going for hundreds of dollars. Obviously, some people say, oh, like that just shows how crazy Pokemon card collecting has gone. Everything is super inflated. But I have a different perspective. Basically, I think it's really cool that if you collect what you like, that's all that really matters. Just collect what you like, and the best cards will kind of rise to the top over time. It sometimes takes time for people to realize what the best cards are, because I don't think when this Gengar and Mimikyu GX came out, people realize how great of a card it is, and it's really in comparison to the alt art version of the card that's right next to it. Here we have the alt art Gengar and Mimikyu Tag Team GX, and it looks okay. It looks okay. It's kind of early era alt art cards, and the artists really didn't know what they could really get away with when it comes to drawing alt art. And this was an example of them just saying, okay, well, it's just another version of the ultra rare, isn't it? When they really could have done something way cooler. And so there are people out there that just prefer the ultra rare version of Gengar and Mimikyu because you can clearly see the size difference between the two Pokemon, and it just has a little bit more personality than the alt art version. The alt art version is still a lot more expensive, but the team up regular ultra rare version has a lot of personality to it. And this is what I mean when it comes to collecting what you like. If you really like the cards, there are probably other people that share in that joy with you, and the best cards will kind of rise to the top. A lot of these cards that I'm looking at here uh, were just $2 or $3 cards, and you can see how valuable they are now. The Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team GX is not even rare. This card was so competitive, they literally reprinted this card so many times in battle decks. There are battle decks out there where you can get multiple copies of this card readily available just so that you could play the TCG. So this is a card that is so readily available, and look at it now, it's still going for $30, which is still very, very impressive. And here's the fun thing. If you go down, you can see this Pikachu and Zekrom Secret Rare Tag Team GX card. There was a point in time when the most expensive card inside of Team Up was an $80 card. The most expensive card in all of Team Up, the whole entire set, was this Secret Rare right here, and it was $80. At that point in time, the Latias and Latios Tag Team GX was a $40 card, and it was not the most expensive card inside of Team Up. And this is what I mean. The best cards inside of the set, regardless of rarity, will kind of rise to the top. I think people chase rarities too much when really it comes down to collecting what you like. The rainbow rares are not very popular, and that's common to see nowadays, and it's mainly because the art is really hard to spot on the rainbow rares. They're kind of hit or miss. Most people just prefer seeing all the colors rather than seeing the rainbow rares, which are really muted. If you have a collection of rainbow rares, hyper rare cards, and you have them displayed next to each other, unless you're standing really up close, they all kind of look the same. None of them really stand out. They all look kind of the same. So that's why a lot of people tend to collect just the regular ultra rare. The regular ultra rares have just a lot more personality to the cards. Even the regular Latias and Latios Tag Team GX and the Eevee and Snorlax. These are fantastic combos, which is why people love the tag team card so much. The Pokemon Company really cooked on some of the combos on these different teams, and I love them. They're all really fantastic. And that's what I mean. Just collect what you like, and even the regular ultra rare cards can really gain a lot of value. And you might be thinking, oh, well, Team Up is kind of an old example. That doesn't really matter nowadays. But I would disagree. There's many cards like the Gengar and Mimikyu Tag Team GX that are rising in value for the exact same reason. Here again, we have another example. We have ourselves the Snorlax VMAX. This is the regular ultra rare version of the Snorlax VMAX card. A lot of regular ultra rare VMAX cards are usually $2 or $3. But this Snorlax VMAX is currently going for $33. Even though it's the regular ultra rare version, it's still pretty rare, but it's not that rare. You can regularly pull this card, and it's in Sword and Shield base. Sword and Shield base is a very, very overprinted set. There's plenty of copies of this card, but this is what I mean when I say collect what you like. This Snorlax VMAX is incredibly popular, right? Because you get to see the whole entire world on its belly. It's just a really cool art piece that they really didn't utilize the Gigantamax or Dynamax mechanics enough. There was only a couple of Pokemon that had this kind of VMAX art style where when they grew larger, they actually had a change in or transformation in their art style or their design, and that's really, really cool. And I think people recognize that. People recognize good art. People know what is the best art. The top cards kind of rise to the top, kind of like what happened with Paldea Evolve and the Magikarp. When Paldea Evolve came out, the Magikarp was not the most expensive card from the set. The Iono was the most expensive card. And you can see over time, the most popular cards sort of rise to the top. So simply collecting what you like is so incredibly important in this hobby. And I guess now I have 3 copies of the Magikarp, and the big reason for that is because Paldea Evolve is so expensive. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to pull a Magikarp, so I might as well just pick up the card. It was my card of the year, and I have to say that because I called it. The Magikarp was my card of the year. I knew it was going to be incredibly popular. It's just a super cool art piece that we don't get to see every day. There are plenty of illustration rares out there that are just not that special, but there are some that are really, really cool, and I'm glad to see the Magikarp getting recognition. Same with Trainer Gallery cards, right? A lot of Trainer Gallery cards are seeing that same kind of rise, like this Starmie V that I have inside of my collection. This is a super cool art piece. It's just really cool. We don't get to see this kind of eagle eye view on a trainer and Pokemon in this kind of art style ever. This is just so rare, and people recognize good art. I think over time, once you recognize what the best art pieces are and simply collecting what you like, the best cards will kind of rise to the top. This Starmie V used to be like a $20 card. It wasn't that expensive. But as people appreciate cards over time, people know what the best cards are, and they'll simply rise to the top. So I think that's just really cool, and I just can't stop thinking about Team Up, mainly because I think about how amazing it is. I think it's so cool that I gave away copies of this card when this card used to be $5, and obviously now it's very expensive, but I think that's awesome. I think it's really, really awesome that a bunch of these ultra rare, I gave away multiple copies of these cards, by the way, Pikachu and Zekrom, Latias and Latios, Eevee and Snorlax, Gengar and Mimikyu. Pretty much all of the Tag Team GX I gave away multiple copies of. And honestly, if I had just kept all that, I probably would be sitting on like a $10,000 tag team collection. But that's not part of the fun of collecting. Part of the fun of collecting is you have to sort of share the hobby with other people, because if other people don't collect the cards, that actually devalues your collection, because people need to appreciate the cards with you. So sharing in the collection is really, really important. So I think it's great that a $1 or $2 ultra rare card is now as expensive as any other major chase cards nowadays. Like this Gengar and Mimikyu, I think in a PSA 10 is going for like over $1,000 or something ridiculous right now. Yeah, it's going for $1,000 in a PSA 10. Don't have it inside of my collection. You guys can see I actually don't have a copy of this card inside of my collection, even though I gave away a bunch of copies. And that's mainly because I collect what I like. This card I do think is really, really cool. I probably have a copy of it somewhere inside of an old Team Up binder. I don't add every single card that I own inside of Collector, but this is a card I probably should add just to see if I have a copy of it, but I think that's cool. Wait a second. Does it really say I don't have a copy of Latias and Latios? That doesn't make sense. I absolutely have a copy of this card. I absolutely have a copy of the Latias and Latios. Well, we gotta add a copy. There's no way I have not added a copy of this card. I absolutely have a copy of this card. Have I just not added a copy of Latios and Latios into my collection on Collector? That is super weird. Oh my god. This is what happens at 4 in the morning, guys. Like, weird stuff like this. Alright, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to put some of my thoughts down, because I'm up at 4 in the morning and, this is what I'm talking about. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to, I am doing a live stream later this week. On Thursday, we are doing a Adopt a Card-a-thon. I made it up. We're pretty much auctioning off a bunch of singles for just $1 auction start. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Jake, when he's editing this video, he'll show some of the cards on the screen that will be available for a $1 auction. And as always, if you'd like to sign up to Whatnot, you get $15 free credit. And I have a bunch of booster packs available. You can pick up 3 Paldea Evolve booster packs, and after your $15 credit, you're only paying $5. So 3 Paldea Evolve booster packs for $5 is a fantastic deal. Same with Destined Rivals. You got Terrasto Festival, Prismatic Evolutions, Journey Together, Twilight Masquerade, Paldean Fates. Lots of really, really good choices. You also got Black Bolt and White Flare as well. So get yourself your $15 free credit and purchase some booster packs from me. And definitely check out my show. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing constant giveaways, and it's going to be themed around adopting a Pokemon card. So check it out. I think it'll be a lot of fun. We'll have hundreds and hundreds of singles up for auction. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching this rant that I put together at 4 in the morning. This is what I do when I can't sleep, is I look at cards and just think about what I've done or what I've collected, or where we've been as a hobby and some of the history behind it. And I think that's just super cool. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you guys next time.